Hello and welcome to Module 2, Recognize. Today we are going to be discussing the signs and symptoms of an opioid overdose. Let's start off with the signs and symptoms of an opioid overdose. So, what does it look like when someone is experiencing an opioid overdose? First and foremost, we want to look at their breathing. Look at their chest rise and fall. Is it slowed? Is it stopped? In general, you and I breathe approximately 12 to 24 breaths a minute, depending on what we are doing. Really look at their chest and watch that rise and fall. Make sure they're breathing. Watch if it's slowed or stopped. Not breathing is the #1 cause of death in an opioid overdose. Oxygen deprivation will kill you. In later modules, we will discuss how to perform rescue breathing and naloxone administration. Pinpoint pupils. What is a pupil? The black center of your eye is the pupil. If you're around someone, look at the center of their eye. Have them cover that eye with their hand, and then watch that pupil as they move their hand away. The center part of the eye changes in size with light. When someone is experiencing an opioid overdose, the center pupil will be very small or pinpoint in size. The next sign and symptom of an opioid overdose is decreased alertness. What does this mean? They might not be able to respond to you. You say, hey man, are you okay? And they don't respond. A great way to check to see if they're responsive is what's called a sternal rub. Forewarning, if you try this on yourself, it can hurt. To do this, put your hand in a fist. Look at your knuckles. Okay, now place your knuckles on your chest bone in the middle of your chest. Apply pressure and rub up and down on your sternum or chest bone. That's pretty painful, right? Even if you don't press too hard, you definitely feel it. So if you give a little more pressure and say, hey man, naloxone, Narcan, cops. Hey man, are you okay? Cops. A person that is responsive will react to this. Some other signs and symptoms of an opioid overdose include vomiting, blue fingernails, blue lips, choking, making gargling noises, a limp body. They can't talk, and snoring. The next part of Recognize is scene safety and awareness. Please take a look at this picture for a moment. What do you notice? Needles, syringes, powder, tourniquets, a fire source. These are all things to look for at the scene if you think someone is experiencing an opioid overdose. I want you to remember, if you remember nothing else from today's training, that your safety is priority. Not only do these things give you a sign that it might be an opioid overdose, But scene awareness and knowing what is there that could possibly cause you harm is key. You want to make sure to know what is around you so you don't accidentally touch something that might cause you harm. This training is to help you be part of the solution, not become part of the emergency. So again, looking out for things like lighters, belts. People use belts as tourniquets. Balloons, baggies, spoons, powder, pill bottles, pills. Be sure not to touch anything. And use the scene not only for awareness that it might be an opioid overdose, but for your safety. This concludes the lecture portion of Module 2. Thank you.